I'm thanking you for the beauty of this day, for the witness of all the et ceteras that have gathered, from the Board of Trustees to the president and his staff, to the staff, the faculty, the students, community partners, the et ceteras that we know by name, the et ceteras we see by the witness and the evidence of their work. And we just ask now, as we gather in this sacred space, we thank you for the prosperity of the past, the resilience of those that lead, and the grit that will lead them into the future, despite all that is around them. And we are forever grateful, and we say thank you. Amen.
Thank you very much. That was lovely, Reverend Wilburn. At this time, I'd like to introduce my fellow Board of Trustee members who are here today and ask them to stand to be acknowledged. Dr. Deborah Freund. Dr. Jerry Spicer. Dr. Bida Amani. You have fans. Dr. Scott Weingarten. Dr. Vidya Kaushik. And we were expecting Trustee Isaiah Hoffman, who is the new student trustee, but I think he has not been able to arrive yet. Thank you all very much. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence on our podium of Congresswoman Maxine Waters. I don't need to tell you that she has been a staunch advocate for Charles Drew University forever. Thank you very much for your support. Excuse me, I lost my place here. Okay. I would like to invite you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we will be led by, it says on my notes, VOG, who I'll take it to mean the voice of God.
That's correct. Otherwise known as Jackie Brown.
Yeah, I know. There. Oh, here she comes.
Thank you. Please begin after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'm proud to introduce Bailey Moore, President of the Charles Drew University Student Government, who will share a reading for a moment of reflection. Ms. Moore.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you are all centering happiness and gratitude in this season. Greetings to the executive management team, Board of Trustees, senior leadership, faculty, staff, alumni, and all my fellow students. My name is Bailey Moore. I'm a recent graduate of the Master of Biomedical Science here at CDU, and I am a current Master of Public Health student and a future doctor. It is an honor and a privilege to speak to you all today as President of the CDU Student Government. Before I begin, I want everyone to take a few deep breaths with me. In and out. Another one, in, out. One more, in and out. I know some of you are like, why does she have us breathing like this? Well, because it is important to prioritize moments of stillness and mindfulness no matter what is going on in the world around us. I want to talk specifically to my fellow students. We all decided to attend this illustrious institution because we resonate with its mission, values, purpose, and history. In this ever-changing political, social, and economic environment, it is easy to second-guess your goals, plans, and self. There are people in this world that want to see students like us fail. They want to see us silent, and they want to see us uneducated. And I'm not going to stand for that, and neither should you. In a world that sees education as a threat, I want to remind every single student that no matter what you look like or where you are from, you are here because you are worthy, because you are capable, and because this community believes in you. CDU was born out of struggle, out of necessity, and out of the dream that people from underserved communities like South LA deserve to not only survive, but thrive. We stand on the shoulders of visionaries who turn barriers into bridges and pain into purpose. That same resilience runs through each of us, and we need not ever forget that. So when the world feels heavy, when your path feels uncertain, even when that hard class that has you ready to crash out is just too much, remember this. You're part of a legacy that has always defied the odds. Lean on each other, lean on this community, and lean into the purpose that brought you here. As your student government president, I'm here for all of you. I promise to keep advocating for you, supporting you, and walking alongside you. And my hope is that you all also keep showing up for yourself, one step at a time, one victory at a time, and one breath at a time. One of my favorite pioneering Black feminist scholar, critic, and author Bell Hooks once said, "Education as the practice of freedom affirms healthy self-esteem in students as it promotes their capacity to be aware and live consciously. It teaches them to reflect and act in ways that further self-actualization rather than conformity to the status quo." Thank you for allowing me to share this space with you today. May we continue to honor the past, shape the present, and boldly and unapologetically create the future together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Moore, and I want to assure you the Board of Trustees are going to make sure you become a doctor if you pass the exams. So it's now my pleasure to present Charles Drew University's president and CEO, Dr. David Carlisle. I think you're all well aware we're at a very pivotal moment in the history of higher education and a number of other really aspects of our society. Colleges and universities are facing significant challenges related to enrollment, funding, and equity. Yet despite these challenges, Charles Drew University continues to stand strongly, anchored by its vision, mission, values, and leadership. At the helm of that leadership is President David Carlisle. President Carlisle's unwavering commitment to academic excellence, advancing health equity, and pursuing social justice has helped steer CDU through change with clarity and purpose. Under President Carlisle's direction, CDU has remained grounded in its core mission, navigating uncertain times with steady leadership and a hopeful vision for what lies ahead. On behalf of the CDU Board of Trustees, please join me in welcoming President Dr. David Carlisle to deliver the 13th State of the University Address.
Well, thank you, Chair Bacchus, and to everyone who's here, thank you so much for being here for State of the University number 13. Before I go further, I just want to ask us to take a brief moment of silence in recognition of the lives that were so tragically lost yesterday in Minneapolis, just for a few seconds. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. So at CDU, the summer months are a time for reflection, for recognition, and most importantly, for renewal. As we conclude the season with this family gathering, where we celebrate the year behind us and welcome the year ahead with optimism and focus. We do so with steady eyes on the future, guided as always by our mission to cultivate diverse health professional leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations through outstanding education, research, clinical service, and most importantly, community engagement. Our mission is not theoretical. It is lived out every day in our classrooms and clinics and hospitals throughout Los Angeles, throughout California, and indeed throughout the nation. And some of you know I call this the music of healthcare. We are being serenaded. The nation and even the world, for we have students in places like Zambia as we speak. But fulfilling that mission requires more than aspiration. It requires execution, performance, and intention. That is how we turn vision into impact. CDU has been on the move this past year. We set out to hire the best and the brightest and welcomed leaders who will shape the institution for years to come. For example, Dr. Ali Andalibi. Ali? Dr. Andalibi joined us in September as Vice Provost for Research and has been steadfast in his commitment to sustain CDU's vital portfolio of research projects and unprecedented funding that challenges very much significant disparities that exist throughout the world. I want to give Dr. Andalibi a special shout out because some of you will hear very shortly that just a few months ago, the new administration rescinded over $20 million of research funding to this university through the cancellation of one specific grant. Ali and I sat down and talked about it. And I said, you know, I'm a little bit pessimistic about this. And Ali said, don't worry, I've got it. We're going to submit an appeal and we're going to be successful. That's correct, right, Ali? And sure enough, that appeal went in, and it was successful. We had our full funding restored from the NIH. Let me now introduce Dr. Jose Torres Ruiz. Jose? Jose is now marking his 1-year anniversary as Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost, and has been instrumental in advancing academic excellence at CDU. Now, some of you may not know what the job of a provost is. The most important job of the provost is we're walking across 118th Street, and a semi-truck is coming down the road, and they don't see us in the crosswalk. So the provost's fundamental job is to grab me by my shoulders and throw me out of the crosswalk. Thank you. Jose, thank you in advance. I may not get to say it again. And just a few weeks ago, we welcomed our new Dean of the Mervyn M. Dimely College of Nursing, Dr. Leah Fitzgerald. Dr. Fitzgerald? Dr. Fitzgerald, who will lead the college into a new era of accountability, academic integrity, and student-centered values, comes to us from the federal government, where she spent a few months with HRSA, Health Resources and Services Administration, and is also the previous dean of the Mount St. Mary School of Nursing. The caliber of these leaders is proof of our determination to be an employer of choice and a university of choice, attracting and retaining the very best talent that we can. In that spirit, I'd like to pause again and recognize some of our most veteran colleagues whose service has strengthened CDU's mission for 35 years or more. First off, all the way in the back row, Dr. Elavie Washington, 35 years. We have Augustine Adume, Charles Pittman, Dr. Alan Fooney, and Dr. Daphne Calmes. Augustine. That's 36 years of service. I told her I would fumble her name. We'll give it a go. Professor Sanait Tekla Hymeno. 40 years of service. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you. Thank you. Dr. George Marks and Professor Cynthia Davis. Professor Davis. 41 years of service. I don't see Dr. Marks here at this time. He's often here for these events. Kessler Martin. And Dr. Mumda Gonium, 42 years of service. And Ron, we got the edit in, so I'm not going to fumble and say Ron Edelstein, Dr. Edelstein, 46 years of service. That was too early, Dr. Edelstein. This is actually 47 years of service. A special shout out to Dr. Daphne Calmes, who was honored last year with a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Association of Black Women Physicians for her lifelong dedication to medicine and education. Congratulations, as always, Dr. Calmes. So we can't, however, keep all of our colleagues at CDU forever. So I want to wish a few individuals as well as they embark on their next phase of their life and enjoy their well-earned retirement. Professor Thomas McGee, who is not here with us today, has spent 21 years at CDU and just retired this year. So he was also president 2 times of the Academic Senate and also co-taught a course with me on the presidential seminar, as we call it. Thank you, Tom, for your service to CDU, your leadership, and your dedication. Professor Eugene Hassan. Is Eugene here? So in addition to his time on the faculty at CDU, Professor Hassan is also a CDU alum. He's mentored more than 400 students into healthcare careers in his 28 years as the director of CDU's Radiologic Technology Program. Congratulations, Eugene. A name that we'll all recognize, of course, is that of Sylvia Drivey. Sylvia's not here with us this morning, but please note that she received this year's President's Commencement Award at our ceremony, our commencement ceremony. Years of tireless, dedicated service, not just to CDU, but to communities all around the country, Mississippi, New York, et cetera, for equity, social justice, and community empowerment. Sylvia, of course, congratulations. And we can't say too much about our appreciation and gratitude, not just for Sylvia Drivey, but everyone else who has contributed to this university. So whether they've been here for 47 years or for 2 years, CDU's employees embody our mission, and I'm exceptionally proud of those who go further by enrolling in our degree programs. Thank you very much. Tiffany Goyot. Is Tiffany here? Yes, Tiffany. So Tiffany is an analyst in our HR department, and she's now pursuing a master's degree in public health and expects to graduate within the next 2 years. All right. The next person I don't think is here because she's really busy. Janice Young from our campus safety department, also an extraordinary baker, by the way. She's already achieved an associate's degree from CDU, from LA Southwest College, and is now working toward her associate's degree in radiologic technology here at CDU. Shanice, wherever you are, I know you're busy, and way to go, Tiffany and Shanice. Thank you very much. So as we fill key positions across the campus, we're also making strides in enrollment. under the leadership of Vice Provost Sophia Toro. Sophia, are you here? All the way, every day from Rancho Cucamonga. We appreciate you. We expect under Sophia's leadership our enrollment to exceed over 1,000 students with our fall census in just another couple of weeks. Thank you very much, Sophia, and your entire team. In the last year, Vice Provost Toro has forged 25 new transfer and articulation agreements with institutions across Los Angeles and Orange counties, opening doors for more students and more students and more students to join CDU. Thank you. When CDU calls on neighboring institutions, they answer because CDU delivers. Our programs continue to rise in the national rankings. For example, our master's degree program in biomedical sciences ranks not number 3 in the country, not number 2 in the country, not just number 1 in the country, but has been number 1 in the country for the past 3 years in a row. And I don't want to disparage a well-known biomedical sciences university in the state of Maryland by name, but they're number 2. They've been number 2 for a while. Our master's degree program in nursing is now in the top 100 nursing programs in the country. I remember when that program was not ranked, and then it got into the top 500, and then it got in the top 250, and now it's in the top 100. And in fact, you know, I like to ask people to stand up. So nursing faculty and staff, it's your turn now. If you're staff or faculty from the school, the College of Nursing, please stand up. And I wasn't planning to do this, but we have a special guest here today. If you are an alum of the College of Nursing, Arlene, please stand up. Cohort number 1 from our FMP program. And then there's our historic MD program, otherwise known as 157, because when it was accredited by the LCME 3 years ago, it became the 157th such program accredited in the United States. Our medical students are fantastic. I know we have a few here today as we speak, but they're very unique. Over 80% of them receive Pell Grants as undergraduates. That is beyond exceptional. That is astounding, and it says that we're accomplishing our mission. Let me just ask the Dean of Medicine to stand up and be recognized for her accomplishments. Do we have any medical students that are here right now? Sir? Yep, there we go. All right, thank you very much for being here. They're all around, and they are wonderful individuals. And of course, our CDU UCLA medical education program is approaching its transition to a full UCLA program, still with CDU involvement. Want to congratulate and thank the UCLA Geffen School of Medicine and UCLA itself for its great support of our programs in medical education and our university for many, many decades here at CDU. So back to our medical students. This year, 100% of our graduates matched into their residency positions. Always a high target. At twice the national average, 67% matched into primary care specialties. And we know based on data that as many as 80% of our medical school graduates have returned to practice in underserved communities. That's fantastic. "59% will complete their residencies in California, affirming our students' commitment to the Golden State, and especially the underserved, under-resourced communities that they come from. In fact, I will say that if you ask a CEDU student, perhaps, why did you decide to come to this university? Probably the most common answer you'll hear is, I came to this university to become a healthcare professional, to make the community I grew up in a better place. That's not true of most medical students. So thank you, medical students, for being with us. So we know that the health professions education and training programs are costly. That's why we are profoundly grateful to partners like LA Care. Thank you, Chair Bacchus. Sutter Health, HealthNet and Centene, and Altamed. As recipients of LA Care's bold, Elevating the Safety Net Medical School Scholarship Program, 4 of our newest medical students, and I'll say their names, Hermona Oakboot of Inglewood, and she's at the back right there waving. Tanisha Janice of Pico Rivera. Tanisha. Jesse Geronimo Ruiz of Los Angeles. And Jessica Liliana Porras of Lenox. Join our 23 historic awardees who will have more than their full medical school tuition cost paid for by the LA Care scholarships. LA Care renewed their support to CDU in May of this year, allocating more than $4 million to support our medical students. And this year, Sutter Health invested an additional $7.5 million in our future doctors. Doubling the total number of their scholarships, full tuition scholarships, to 10 across 5 cohorts of medical students. Similarly, HealthNet and the Centene Foundation have stepped up with their own investment of $5.5 million for medical student support. Ensuring that a total of 16 medical students and 9 post-baccalaureate students will receive full tuition support over the next 4 years. Thank you. And then our supporters and friends at Altamed are helping us tackle the statewide nursing shortage head on. Our long-standing community relationship with Altamed has transformed into a true visionary partnership that will train 28 Altamed licensed vocational nurses to be registered nurses within the next 18 months. Kudos to those LVNs, because that's a tough pathway, and they're making their progress on it. Thank you very much, Altamed. So these investments ensure that we can continue to educate future healthcare leaders who are not just preparing for a career, but are answering to a calling. Students like our new student trustee, Isaiah Hoffman, who is not here because he's doing his day job. And what's his day job? He's a medical student. He's studying. Isaiah is a very impressive individual because, for among the many great things that he's done, he co-founded a nonprofit organization named Hosting Opportunities and Mentorship Involving Education and STEM. Please repeat that. Do you know the acronym? The acronym is HOMIES. Through HOMIES, Isaiah has partnered with K-12 schools in Philadelphia and Los Angeles to pair Black students with Black professional mentors in their geographic areas using a computer algorithm that considers things like common interest, family dynamics, and academic goals. Isaiah embodies the ingenuity and purpose that defines his generation, but takes it one step further by applying it for the better good. I want to say one thing about Isaiah since he's not here. You all may remember the Ball brothers out of Chino Hills. Basketball, 100 points a game. Well, Isaiah used to play against them also, so just keep that in mind. Students like we just heard from Bailey Moore, who delivered a powerful reaction just minutes ago. And I'm so proud of Bailey, I'm going to repeat a lot of what you heard already. But you may not know that Bailey graduated summa cum laude from our master's degree program in biomedical sciences just this past May. In addition to getting a master's degree in urban health disparities that she's now working on, she is also the president of our Student Government Association. So I have more to say about her, though, if that's not enough. 2 graduate degrees under her belt. As you heard, she's going to medical school. And her focus is, of course, the very significant challenge of Black maternal health outcomes and reproductive justice. So Bailey, I know, is relentless. She has ambition. She's value-driven. And as her generation says, she stands on business. Is that right, Bailey? I don't know if we have Juan Gonzalez here, but Juan is a first-generation college student in the master's entry-level nursing program, one of our first 2 nursing programs at CDU. This program is special because it takes students who have a college degree, who basically are saying, I'm not going to earn enough as a, and I don't say the name of the degrees anymore. I got in trouble doing that, as a fill in the blank. But, you know, I was kind of good at science. Maybe I should become a nurse. Well, ELM programs are designed for young people like that. Every year we're bringing on board 30-some students like Juan. Juan was valedictorian of the Police Academy program as high school, has worked as a behavioral therapist, has coached a high school soccer team, and now works as a substitute teacher with the LA Unified School District. Next week, he'll deliver a TED Talk at Kaiser Permanente's Regional Joint Service Academy Conference. Did you know about that, Jerry? And of course, Juan is only 26 years old. He set another high bar for us, demonstrating what perseverance looks like. Soon, students like Isaiah, Bailey, and Juan will be training and learning in the new Health Professions Education building right across the way here. Exactly 1 year ago, and some of you were here, we broke ground on this $80 million project, an investment made possible through support from the state of California. Thank you, Governor Newsom. Thank you, Senator Bradford. Thank you, Assemblymember Gibson. I could go on and on and on about talking about the state of California, but there's also the W.M. Keck Foundation, the California Endowment, the Amundsen Foundation, the Len Hill Charitable Trust, the Ralph M. Parsons Foundation, the Wells Fargo Foundation, and you can see that Senior Vice President Minifield has been kind of busy raising this money. And I'll say, and team as well, because it takes a team and a community to do the job. But I don't want to forget our recently retired trustee, former president of CSU Los Angeles, Dr. James Rosser, who individually supported this project in a significant way. Designed with cutting-edge labs, state-of-the-art simulation center, and very collaborative interprofessional working spaces, the HPEB represents a promise to the Watts Willowbrook community, to our founders, and to the students of tomorrow, to be here in this community, training physicians and others to serve this community. That promise includes jobs. As the project reaches its halfway point, I'm proud to report that 12% of the workers live within 5 miles of CDU. That's a high watermark. And if you know the construction industry, it's also a high watermark to say that 38% of the workers actually live in LA County. So together, half the labor powering this project comes from our own region. I will say, under the oversight of VP Carl McLaney, Carl, and others like our CFO, Liz Baskerville. Liz. Unusually, the Health Professions Education Building remains on time and on target for a completion in June 2026. Who's here from Turner Construction? Well, the answer, I hope, is no one. Because they're kind of busy staying on time and on budget. So CDU's reputation as a mission-driven, trusted partner continues to grow. From being featured in the PBS NOVA documentary, Critical Condition, Health in Black America, to hosting the Empowerment Congress Summit. Thank you, Supervisor Ridley Thomas. The Drew League's Community Day just a few weeks ago right here on this very spot. And just last weekend, Compton Fest. Thank you, Mayor Sharif. Our visibility here reflects our values, our action, and our commitment in support of this community. We continue to bring bold discourse to the forefront and pursue equity and social justice through our institutional research. In February, I was joined, for example, by a panel of renowned experts, including former Secretary of Health and Human Services Javier Becerra, to discuss healthcare disparities in a historical and sociological context during our annual President's Breakfast. That was a great event. Thank you very much. Many of you were there. In May, students from our MPH program, nursing program, and biomedical sciences programs all went to Cuba, where they learned lessons about the Cuban healthcare system that they can apply to our own. That was a great trip. If you went on that trip, please raise your hand. Trustee Amani. And our faculty continue to publish findings faster than our communications team can publicize them. That's just the way it works in academics. Just recently, Professor Dr. Theodore Friedman, and I saw Theodore come in, there he is. Okay. Wave your hand again, Theodore. Published a study that challenges standard testing for hypothyroid patients. And you know, Dr. Friedman is an example of how being prolific in publications. I could talk for the next 10 minutes about his publication track record. Dr. Shervin Asari. Dr. Asari, are you here? Don't know if he's here. Okay. He's working on tobacco addiction, cannabis misuse, and their connection to childhood and teenage mental health issues, and is getting a lot of attention and bringing a lot of attention to CDU for that. And they're just examples of the great work that our faculty are doing. I'm very proud of each and every one of these individuals and the success and accomplishments that they have and what they're bringing to CDU. But I must also acknowledge the challenges that we're facing. Despite our many collective achievements over the last year, I am disappointed to share that we fell short of our financial forecast and projections, and unfortunately also fell victim to political threats that we had hoped would not materialize. This cost the university fiscally. These challenges have contributed to a sizable unrestricted budget deficit and the cancellation, as I mentioned, and subsequent restoration, to be sure, of over $24 million in research funding, for example. They also resulted in the reductions in force at the CDU, the first that I've had to implement during my 14 years as president, of 12 esteemed, very capable individuals who we had to release from this university with great regret, despite their contributions. The leaders who joined me on stage today have stood beside me and with the university through every blow, every step, every funding cut, every challenge, every executive order that has put our students, researchers, faculty, and staff in jeopardy. Together, we've had to make difficult and at times unpopular decisions to safeguard CDU's future. But I do have good news. Like a plane that is descending and the passengers are screaming and the seatbelts are tight, we are pulling out of this dive as we speak. That 1,000 students, maybe 1,050, that Vice Provost Toro is bringing to the university, represent almost our highest ever enrollment in the history of this university. It's right around the corner. That is a 20-some percent, Sophia help me out, 25, 24%, yes, increase year on year in enrollment. But not just this year, our target is 20% enrollment growth year after year, year on year, for the next 5 years. And he just walked in. I'm sorry, student trustee Hoffman. You deserve the spotlight. We have a seat for you up here. Isaiah Hoffman, everyone. I told them about your basketball career.
Oh, yeah.
So again, I'm deeply grateful for all the resolve and diligence, unwavering commitment to doing what is right and what is necessary, even when it is not the path that is the easiest one to take. And this is why I am very hopeful, because CDU does not stand alone. We are grounded in the strength and spirit of Los Angeles, a city defined by its resilience, diversity, and unwavering belief in progress and the future. Angelenos know how to rise up, rebuild, and lead with purpose. That same spirit lives within our students, faculty, staff, and our community. We're fortunate to call California home, a state that, in the words of Dr. Dre, is untouchable like Elliot Ness. Did I get that right? Okay, I didn't come up with that line. A state with the 4th largest GDP in the world and a long-standing commitment to innovation, education, and equity. Our elected officials continue to show their support for CDU's mission and recognize the essential role we play in training the next generation of health equity leaders. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Congresswoman Maxine Waters. Can I say Auntie? Auntie Maxine. Who never fails to answer our call. To Supervisor Holly Mitchell, one of our most fervent champions, who's represented today. By Casey Hervey. Assemblymember Mike Gibson for providing the visionary leadership that we've needed. Compton Community College, CSU Dominguez Hills. I don't want to forget our former Senator Steve Bradford, once again. Compton Mayor Emma Sharif. And I want to recognize again Mark Ridley Thomas, because there was a time some years ago, I recall, when we stood out there in that parking lot that was falling apart with gravel and cracks. And he said to me, you know, we need some more students here. As you look out on our campus today, what you see are students walking around. That wasn't true 10 years ago. He also said, people drive by here and they don't know you're here. You need an entrance with signage. And now we have an entrance with signage. Mark Ridley Thomas, thank you. So if you're not keeping track of time, as we approach our milestone 60th anniversary next year, we must ask, what will it take to position CDU for the next era of growth? This is not a rhetorical question, it is a strategic imperative. We need sustained investment in academic excellence. We need more expansive programs to support our students from mission to graduation and beyond. We need a robust, mission-driven pipeline of faculty, staff, and leaders who reflect the communities we serve. And we need modern infrastructure that matches the caliber of our work and the scale of our ambition. The good news is that we're not doing this alone. We're joined by many partners that I've already mentioned, visionary institutions like Bloomberg Philanthropies. Bloomberg Philanthropies has committed $70 million to this university and to our students. Thank you, Mayor Bloomberg. I've already mentioned LA Care, Sutter Health, Altamed. They not only see the value of CDU, but the rigor of our academic programs and the impact of our graduates as well. When they seek talent, they come to CDU for more than credentials. They come for cultural fluency, compassion, and unshakable commitment to equity. That is CDU's signature, and it is what sets our graduates apart. Let me close with the words of a fellow CEO who shared with me just recently, CDU's survival is essential for Los Angeles, for California, for the country, end quote. We need this university to thrive because communities who rely on it have nowhere else to turn. CDU is not a luxury, we are a necessity. We are important for the future healthcare of under-resourced communities, especially here in South Los Angeles. We are a national model for what justice and health professions education can and must look like. So as we look ahead, I ask each of you, stay committed, stay courageous, stay clear on why we're here. Let's continue building a university that reflects the brilliance of our students, the urgency of our mission, and the promise of our legacy. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you.